Hey guys, what's up? This is Garrett from the Fortnite newscast. I just wanted to let you guys know that this episode is coming out early. The reason that it's coming out early is because I will be on vacation next week and I'll be hanging out down on the beach. So you guys will hear probably a short snippet of a podcast from Austin, just doing a solo podcast later on this week, maybe keeping you guys updated with the summer skirmish events that's going to be happening. Keep you updated with all that good stuff. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know if you have any questions, you can always DM us, just a tweet on Twitter at CastFortnite. So yeah, just wanted to keep you guys updated, and remember, as always, stay average.
Everybody, and welcome back to the 5th episode of the Fortnite newscast, brought to you by the average gamer for the average gamer. So the date today is August 9th, and patch 5.2 rolled out not too long ago. Some major changes. First off, there's a new game mode, limited time steady storm. So basically, it is just one constant. The storm doesn't stop. It doesn't have phases, so it constantly closes down for 15 minutes. So stay ahead of it and take down the other players to earn a victory royale. I haven't played it. It doesn't really seem like something that I'm going to be too interested in. It seems like it would speed up the game. Have you played it yet, Garrett?
No, I haven't played it yet. I'm kind of in the same boat that you are, where it sounds like a cool idea and it kind of sounds like a fun concept, but I'm having too much fun in regular battle royale to kind of move on to something that I should try it. I really should, but I just haven't got the motivation to actually do it yet.
Yeah, some of these game modes, I mean, they're cool, but just not my thing.
Yeah, like the fly explosives, it was fun for like a match, but then after that, like I started getting irritated, and I just kind of missed the SMGs and shredding through things with them. So yeah.
Yeah. In this game mode, the storm does 10 damage a second, instead of 1 a second, and then 2 a second, and then 5, and then 10. Typical storm damage. It does 10 per second always. And then your profile stats, KDs, and wins, and challenges are all tracked in this game mode as well.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't played it, I mean, get out there and play it. I know this is kind of the pot calling the kettle black, but go play it. I'm probably gonna try it before it's gone. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
it'll be good to have an opinion on it
for sure. I mean, we're going off just what we're reading right now. We haven't actually played it, so it might be awesome, and we're just completely missing out on something fun. But I'm not sure. Another limited time change that's kind of been made. They made some adjustments to Playground. I really like that Playground still stuck around. I mean, we've had a full cycle of the Fly Explosives LTM roll through, and Playgrounds was there before that, and it's still kicking. I hope it lasts for a while. But the fill, no fill option has been added to the game mode selector. I actually didn't know that this had disappeared. I guess it disappeared for a while, because I think, Austin, when me, you, and I think Alex or Megan was playing, that we actually had it set on fill and had some random kid join and didn't know that we were just like practicing and started to try and kill everybody. So I thought that it was always there, but I don't know. Maybe when they reintroduced it into the game that they forgot to include that feature back in there. And also the chest and floor loot changed back to one weapon spawn to cut down on clutter loot, which I don't know how I feel about that. I really liked the massive selection of loot that you had.
I liked it too. It was just a lot easier to find the guns that you wanted to try out.
Yeah, because no one actually goes into Playground with their 4 friends and, I don't know, like plays for the actual victory royale. Like, everyone just goes in there to practice. It's fun to practice with all these different guns, and you don't get that chance when you're getting, one weapon per spawn. If you're looking for that, specific weapon that you want to try and get better with, or you want to test out the guided missile because it just came back, or things like that, it's going to be a lot harder to try and find that weapon now, unless you go somewhere crazy that has a lot of chests like Tilted, which really, I mean, there's not a problem with it because you're not having to fight all these other players off for it. But I really liked having the massive amount of loot just sitting on the map, and I know that we'll still have that in the meds and things like that. I really liked all the weapons.
Yeah, I did too. But we have to remember this is still only the second iteration of Playground, and although it's been out for longer, they have said that they are going to introduce it permanently at some point, but they're still doing all their testing and everything. I bet the reason that they still have it out right now and they haven't taken it away after this LTM cycle is just the fact that they're getting a lot of bug info from it, and they're really getting the feedback from everybody so that when they do make it a permanent game mode, um, they'll have it right. I think what they need to do is add settings to it. So you can go in, you can change if it's one spawn, like one gun spawn or all gun spawns, or have it mimic your normal game. I think all this needs to be adjustable. I think you should have it. I don't really like to relate it to Minecraft, but how they have the creative mode there. Um, so where you can like spawn everything in, like give you a menu to spawn
Ah, I
stuff
see.
in or
Yeah, I know what
spawn
you're
with
saying.
certain weapons. And then I think they need to make it so you can really just customize it to how you want to play it.
That would be cool. That'd be really
Because
cool.
playing these like fun little game modes that you can create like with your friends, like build a tower and like you have to build a fort until you can destroy it with explosives first or whatever. And instead of having everybody going around looking for these explosives, you could just spawn it in so everybody has the same stuff, yada yada yada. Like you get it. Instead of having to look for the double barrel shotgun, you can just spawn it in and test it immediately.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. And almost, like I think it was Halo, the custom games in there, how you could select what guns are going to spawn and what guns don't spawn. Like you were saying earlier,
So
like,
much
yeah,
fun.
that was a blast because you could always, spawn those gravity hammers and spawn the rocket launchers and things like that. That'd be really cool to do for this. So yeah, you could select this game mode's only going to be played with heavy shotguns and hunting rifles, and that's all that will
Hmm.
drop is hunting rifles and heavy shotguns. That would be sweet. I do like that idea.
Yeah, like I said, second iteration. So I think they're still just gauging what the community wants and what would be feasible for them to do.
Yeah, and it's gotten so much better with the second generation. The first one was really good. They did a bang up job to the first playgrounds. I do think the second one has gotten a lot better. It's a lot more fun, and you can do a hell of a lot more stuff with all the things that you
Oh
can
yeah,
find now.
I agree. So moving on from Playground, the double barrel shotgun got introduced. It is, as it sounds, a double barrel shotgun. It's available in epic and legendary variants. It can be found floor loot, chests, supply drops, and vending machines. Delivers high burst damage at very close range, but damage falls off heavily at a distance. It fires 10 pellets like other shotguns. It has a much larger spread. It's comparable to the tactical shotgun, the spread. I think it's a little larger,
Yeah,
especially when you're moving. A lower critical damage multiplier is 1.25 times. So if you hit a headshot with one of the pellets, it'll do, instead of doing 100 damage. I don't know if that's not what it does, um, but it would do 125 damage. It has a 2-second cooldown time when swapping weapons, and it's, I don't know. Well, let me finish talking about the like all the specs on it, and then we'll give our opinions. The epic variant does up to 143 base damage if you hit all of your shots at extremely close range, and then the legendary variant does 150 base damage at extremely close range. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It seems like it's becoming the new meta. A lot of the streamers are using it. Daquan has been using it a lot. He's the god of shotguns, and I think his opinion is, we can rely on his opinion when it comes to shotguns because he's an expert with them. Um, so everybody seems to like it. I don't know, the whole two shot thing. It just doesn't seem super effective. I think they're trying to introduce something, a shotgun that is balanced but has the potential to do that high damage output. So if you can manage to hit both of those shots at extremely close range and do, each one of them does 150 base damage without a headshot, that's that's a lot. That's 300 damage. That'll definitely take you down from your shield, like full shield, full health, and everything. But it still just seems a little ineffective because the chance that you are going to hit all 20 of those pellets is still pretty slim.
yeah, I agree with you. And the first time that I got this gun, I the first thing I did with it was fire and see how fast I could fire these two shots because I was expecting bang bang, like as fast as your finger could pull the trigger. Is this? It's that's how fast that you're going to be able to shoot this gun. But it really
But
doesn't
that's
seem.
not.
It's no, not at all. It seems like it fires just as fast, if not a little slower than a tac shotgun. So
I
I
think
was
that's a
I
good
was very
comparison.
deterred. I was very deterred by this weapon the first time I used it. But I picked it up, so I went and played with it. And actually, the first match I used it, I won. I was pretty shocked. I didn't really use it because I also had a compact SMG, and that thing just shreds. But it's really, and when they say that this damage fall off is dramatic, it is crazy. I was maybe body to body with a person and shot them and hit them for, it was like 130, and they got like 2 steps away from me, shot them and hit them for 44. So I know that we've been like, it's inconsistent with shotguns, but just going from 2 steps away being an 80 damage drop off, it's pretty crazy. But really, what I've been just using it, and I hated this gun. Honestly, when I first used it, I didn't like it, and I've just been trying over and over and over again to get myself to like it, and it's growing on me. It really is growing on me. I've used it so much yesterday. Every single time that it drops, I'll pick one up. The only time I'll drop it is if I have a purple double barrel and find a gold heavy, because I feel more comfortable with the heavies. Normally, if I find one, it's towards the end of the game, and I just want to be able to get the win. So what I've been doing is, you run up and if you shoot your first shot and you hit them, you just try to close the gap immediately. Because if you do a little damage, they're going to back off a bit if they're smart. So you hit them for that 40 damage and you run up on them and try and get as close as possible. And even if you hit them with half or 3/4 of your pellets, you're probably going to get the kill. I just actually did the math on my phone what the headshot multiplier would be. So I don't know. Did we say the damage numbers?
Yeah,
Okay.
143 epic and 150 legendary.
So for the epic, 143 multiplied by 1.25 is 178 damage. So right there, you're leaving them with 22 health, and that's if you hit your one shot with a headshot. And if you have the legendary version and you hit a headshot, you're hitting for 187 damage, which is leaving them with 13 health. So if you are able to land 2 shots and one of them be a max headshot, you're getting a kill without question. And I think that this is good because, the pump shotgun, you can't one pump anybody anymore. So I think time to kill, this is going to be the fastest shotgun that can do it because it shoots faster than a heavy shotgun. A heavy shotgun still can't one pump. Shoots a little bit slower than attack, but I don't think attack is capable of 2-pumping people anymore. Really. Like, realistically, I don't think it's capable of 2-pumping people. So I think that this gun really is going to have the fastest time to kill out of all shotguns.
Yeah, if we're talking about realistically, I think this is still online with all the other shotguns. It does higher damage, but you do have to be a lot closer to them. So even in those build battles, if you have the high ground and you're shooting down at them, you're still a block away from them.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is still, you need to be even closer than that to really see these numbers. So for me, it's going to take some playing with. I don't like to be that close to my opponents, but you can't deny those numbers. Those are really good numbers if you can. I mean, even the base damage, if you can land all 10 pellets, 143 or 150, that's still a lot of damage. Garrett and I were actually talking about, with the introduction of this double barrel, we think we might see a gun vaulted here in the future, and we're leaning towards the tac shotgun.
Yeah, I would kind of not be surprised because, like, really, the only gun that we have 4 versions of is the AR. But for me, that seems reasonable because there are the 2 different kinds of ARs they have in the game are drastically different. And really, there's not even 4 different ones because you have a burst, and then the only thing that changes about the burst when it gets up, from the regular burst to the FAMAS is the form that it is just purely aesthetic. Same with the regular assault rifle. When it changes to the SCAR, it's purely aesthetic. But yeah, like, we have 4 completely different kinds of shotguns here. I mean, I guess you could really say that the pump and the heavy are the same thing, but I don't know. I mean, the tac just seems to be so
not,
useless. Though. That's true.
Yeah.
You get the faster fire rate, with
and the smaller reticle and everything.
Yeah, but I could really be seeing that. I could see the tac being vaulted, to be completely honest.
Yeah, because The double barrel just seems kind of like a replacement to the tac. It has a relatively similar fire rate, although it only has 2 shots. I mean, I guess that's the biggest comparison. Like I said, the fire rate's very similar. Um, it does more damage, and I think this might be. Yeah, I think we might see the tac shotgun vaulted
And
because not a whole lot of people have been using it because it's pretty. I mean, it's good for 40 or 50 damage, but by that time you'll get shot down by an SMG or whatever. The damage numbers just aren't there for it to be viable anymore, in my opinion.
yeah, the tac shotgun is that gun that you pick up in Tilted that you're happy with getting for your first gun because you know you'll probably run into somebody else that doesn't have a gun and you can kill them. That's about what the tac shotgun is good for anymore. I would
Yeah,
honestly not be surprised if we see the tac vaulted and we get a blue and green double barrel. I could
I
see
think
that
maybe a
happening.
blue.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool because I really find it hard for them not to have a white shotgun. I know like it's weird as it sounds, they could bring in a white pump. Like they used to have it used to only be white and green. They could bring back the common pump. They could I don't know. Like the tac being vaulted is something that does seem like it could happen very soon. But also, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if it stays, but I'm not going to be
I
surprised if it leaves, really.
Yeah, I still think shotguns are in a weird spot still, and I think with the introduction of the double barrel, they're really just trying to feel the waters and see what needs to be changed. If they need different variants of the guns, or if they just need to boost or nerf the stats some more. I don't think they need to nerf them. That's not what I'm saying, but I think they're still just trying to feel everything out. But yeah, seeing the tac shotgun vaulted is definitely a possibility.
Yeah,
So
and
moving on.
yep. So the vending machine changes, those are huge. If you guys haven't ran into these vending machines yet, they are so wonderful. So some of the changes made, the spawn rates has been changed, and the material cost has been lowered on everything. So for the common vending machine, spawn chance is reduced from 7.27% to 6.67%. So you're going to be seeing less common vending machines, which is fine because I don't think that anyone has ever used those ever. Uncommon vending machine spawn chance has increased from 14.5 to 20%. Material cost reduced from 200 to 150. So it's nice because these are what spawn minis, and if you are in a spot hurting for shield at 150, wood, brick, or metal is going to find you a good 3 minis that you can just throw on, give to a teammate. Rare vending machine spawn chance increased from 14.55 to 20%. Material cost reduced from 300 to 225. And this part right here is what makes me so happy. Epic vending machines spawn chance increased from 5.45% to 18.67%. Material cost reduced from 400 to 300. So you're gonna find I bought so many scars already from these legendary vending machines for 300 wood because I'm gonna do legendary and then I'm gonna say my piece about this. Legendary vending machine spawn chance increased from 3.64% to 8%. Material cost reduced from 500 to 375, so that's 125 less materials that you're gonna have to spend. And then chance for no vending machine location to spawn reduced from 50% to 26%. So you're gonna see a lot more vending machines, and
And
you're
a
going
lot
to
more better ones as well.
exactly, and a lot better ones. So really these epic and vending is where it gets big for me because this is where I always tend to buy things out of the vending machine. And before it was always, do I want the legendary scar more than I want to win the next build fight I get in? Because you losing 500, even if you have max, you're throwing away half of your, wood, brick, or metal. And now that you're only having to use 375, that still gives you, so much to work with. It still gives you a whole, five or 600 to work with. And I think that, right there, that's something that they're doing that I absolutely love. And then increasing the spawn rates for all these vending machines, so you're going to get better weapons. Even if you don't land at that crazy spot and get all the awesome loot, if there's a vending machine there, you might be able to get something sweet. Like I forgot, I was playing duos with Alex last night, and we landed Motel, and there was a gold vending machine there. We got crappy loot, super crappy loot, but we had the circle on our side, so we had some time to farm. We were able to get gold compact SMGs and gold scars from the same vending machine and still have enough materials to win a build fight. It's awesome.
Yeah, this change is huge. Before, I used to not even look at vending machines. People would be like, "Oh, there's a gold scar in this one." I'd be like, "Cool, all right, let's keep moving." But now that you don't have to use half of your materials to get that good gun, yeah, I'm all for them. I used to not even bat an eye when somebody said there was a vending machine, but now I'm actually excited to go look and see what's in it because honestly, it's just a good deal.
Yeah, you can afford it.
Yeah,
it's not going to hurt.
Exactly. And it really, for a legendary vending machine, 375 materials, that's nothing.
At all.
No, it's nothing at all.
It's to the point now where when you find something, you can have your whole squad getting these because, everyone wants their team to be better and do better and have better weapons. So really, like, at the point where it was like, hey, do you have 250 wood that I can have? If it's beginning of the game, that's a lot of materials. But now, if they need half of it, it's only like 170. It's 175 something around that. Quick math, not doing it. But you can help your teammate out so they can get that gold scar. You could have their gold scar, and then just double spraying people from afar with gold scars. There's nothing people can do about that. So I think this is going to lead to a lot more. You're going to see a lot of squads having good weapons. You're going to wipe squads. They're going to have better weapons, and I don't know. I love this change. This is probably my favorite change out of the whole patch. I do like the double barrel. This change is my favorite thing. Probably in season since they released season 5. The season 5 release was amazing, but through the point of updates, this has been my favorite change through 5.1 or 5.2.
I agree. Yeah, it was a feature that was worthless to me beforehand, but now I'm excited when I see a vending machine. Knowing that I can get a gold scar for next to nothing is a good change in my eyes.
How would you feel about getting some remote explosives out of that vending machine that you found? Speaking of remote explosives.
Well, are they even a drop? Can you even? I don't think you can get remote explosives from vending machines.
I think you can get everything.
Really?
I think everything drops from vending machines.
Well, all right. Speaking of remote explosives, there has been a change to them as well. They've been working on these just like they have the shotguns. They were too overpowered at first. But now they nerfed them even more. I don't think it's that big of a deal. They feel more balanced, although I really liked them beforehand. They do feel more balanced. So they drop in stacks of 3 rather than 4, and the max stack is reduced from 10 to 6. So if you find 2 remote explosives on the floor, or 2 stacks of them, that's your full stack in your inventory. They added a higher accuracy penalty to jumping and sprint. Oh, that's not part of the dual explosives.
No, not part of dual explosives.
No. Yeah, I mean, they didn't change any damage numbers or anything for the remote explosives. So now it's just a matter of numbers, how many you can carry and how many you can find. So just some simple changes. So moving on, they added a higher accuracy penalty to jumping and sprinting for dual pistols, submachine guns, and hunting rifles. So they won't be as accurate when you're moving and jumping now.
I like that because you just get spammed out by the guy with the compact SMG that just, you walk into a room and he starts jumping around the corners and spraying, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm. And then the last major change that we want to talk about from the patch notes, the weapon fire position now more closely follows the actual player position when crouching and uncrouching. So what that means is, I'm sure if you watch YouTubers, mainly Tfue, Nick A30 does it. I think they all do it to some extent. But the crouch firing, where you hide at the top of your ramp, and then you're crouching, and then you uncrouch and shoot really quick, and you're able to shoot people without even being exposed. They got rid of that with this bug fix, I guess. I guess that was kind of a bug. So now, when you uncrouch, if you shoot your gun and you're halfway standing up, that's where you will shoot from. Before it used to go, you had a crouching shooting position and then a standing shooting position. So when you would press the crouch button, as soon as you pressed that, your shooting, like where your crosshair would automatically shoot from the standing position, and it would just switch between those two instead of like a progressive scale, I guess. So it just had 2 positions, but now they added more positions. So if you're halfway through your crouch, you will fire from that position instead of the full standing position. Did I explain that already, Gary?
Yeah, I think you did a good job because the wording in the patch notes was a little goofy. I knew it kind of had something to do with the crouch peeking that people have been doing over their ramps, which has killed me a lot. Because if someone's firing at you from this crouch peeking position, you honestly never see them, and it
Right.
kind of leaves you clueless. Like if you see it, you are gonna see the top of their head for a second before it goes down. And unless you have an extremely quick and accurate sniper shot, you're not gonna be able to eliminate that opponent unless you build on them. But you don't have a chance to build on them. By the time you do, you're dead. By the time you get close enough to start building, you're dead. It's something that needed to be fixed, and I think that they did a really good job at it.
I think so too.
So
it was a pretty simple fix.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually one more thing in this that I wanted to cover that I completely forgot was in here. So there was a bug in the last patch that really happened a lot with the hunting rifles, where your crosshairs would get blocked by your skin, depending on some of the skins that you would use. I know this happened a lot with the Bears, the Cuddle Team Leader, and the Fireworks Team Leader, and also the Ragnarok skin. I think there were a couple others. I think Drift a little bit. Where sometimes when you're aiming on a slope with a hunting rifle, your skin will actually, I don't know how to explain this. The crosshair appears on your skin, so your target is behind your character, and you actually can't see him. But they fixed that now, so that's something that needed to be fixed and has hurt a lot of people in a lot of situations. And
I bet you.
has that ever happened to you? Did that ever mess with you?
No, I don't use snipers a whole lot, but I saw a video. Some guy got a kill facing forward, and the guy was like right behind him. They were in one of those jumping fights.
Yeah.
And he like panic switched to his hunting rifle and shot and killed the guy behind him because of this bug.
That's crazy.
It was pretty funny, but obviously doesn't happen often.
Yeah, but yeah, it's something it needed to be fixed. So they did a pretty good job at doing that. So yeah, that's really there's a couple more things, but they're just like they're little minor fixes. So if you guys want to, if you go to epicgames.com/Fortnite, you'll be able to find the whole list of patch notes there. There's a couple things like audio and UI things that they aren't vital to the game, but they actually ended up having to release an emergency patch today.
August the 9th.
August the 9th. So the Fortnite team put a thing on their website that said, "Hey folks, we've seen various discussions about the SMGs, building material changes, and general weapon versus structure interaction. We agree that weapons should have a unique purpose and that buildings should feel great as well as show off your tactical skills in the heat of battle. Your feedback in combination with the internal testing has shown that the previous changes in these areas were not achieving the goals we had set out for. The new changes are aimed at allowing for strengths and weaknesses between SMGs, shotguns, and structures during close-range combat." So pretty much what they're saying is that building was too weak and the spray meta needs to be gone. So what they did was they took, in the building changes department, they increased the wood wall initial HP from 80 to 90, the brick wall initial HP from 80 to 100, and the metal wall initial HP from 80 to 110, which is really... It's different because this is kind of the exact opposite of what we had seen before they nerfed building completely. We saw the wood wall had the strongest initial HP, then brick second and metal last, where now it's completely the opposite. So wood has the still the weakest initial and weakest final. Brick is second, and then metal is the strongest and strongest.
Which is I think cool. This is the way it should be, though.
I agree.
Because it just didn't make sense to have a wood wall that had more HP than a metal wall just because it was placed first, like initially. I understand they wanted to allow it like time to build, I guess, but it just didn't really make sense. So now metal for me, it's worth farming for now because it gives you that better chance in these build fights because you have the higher starting HP. And it's a rarer resource to come across. Well, harder to farm, takes longer.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more interesting to see these build fights happen with metal. I think Metal always kind of really confuses me because it takes so long to build, and when you build it, like these pieces of metal are like flying on it for a really long time, and I think it's gonna cause a lot of like pandemonium in a build fight when you're looking for just the slightest bit of movement on your screen, and all these metal flakes are just gonna be flying or like out around. If you're gonna build fight metal versus metal, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to see how this changes the building meta. I think we are going to see more people building with metal now in these build fights.
For sure. I'm just going to be happy to see buildings lasting longer than 5 seconds. Really,
yeah.
That's what I'm happy about.
I was never a 1x1 camper. Really, like not really. I wouldn't do it like mid game, but like end game, I would totally do it. And that's the only time I would use brick or metal was to build these structures. And half the time I would just stick with wood anyways. But now that brick and metal have like respectively higher starting HPs, I will use them in build fights because I would only mine wood because that's the only time I really built was in build fights, like ramp rushing people, getting the high ground, yada yada yada. And because I had this higher starting HP, they couldn't shoot it out faster, and I wouldn't go fall into my death. But now I will start using brick and metal.
Yeah, I agree 110%.
So some of these other changes in this emergency patch, they nerfed the SMG and the drum gun. They dropped SMG effectiveness. They should feel good against structures, but not consistently be the best option in multiple scenarios. That's for the SMG and the drum gun. The compact SMG, they reduced the damage from 2221 to 2120, and they reduced the clip from 50 to 40. I like that.
I do too. I like that they didn't go too heavy with the nerf. I like that they're giving it a chance to see what it's going to do. If it's still a little bit OP, drop it to 2019 and see how it feels. The clip, I'm glad, was reduced. I could have dealt with 50 to 45 because you're losing a lot of damage from those 10 rounds that you're missing. If you're hitting for 20 each time, that's a 200 damage that you're losing. But I mean, we're gonna see how it plays out.
It only takes 10 bullets to kill someone. So
that's
dropping
true.
it
That's a good point.
From 50 to 40. Yeah. I didn't really have any quarrels with the clip size, but it makes sense now.
Yeah, I mean the clip size. I think they're doing it mainly to counter the people that purely use the compact SMG to spray out builds, because you don't get a break. Honestly, you do not get a break if you are in a build and someone's spraying you with an SMG. You just have to kind of spam build walls and stairs in front of you and hope that you get that chance where they reload and then you can make your push. That's kind of always what I was waiting for, which is for the reload. But now they don't have that extra 10 shots that they can spray in at you, so you're going to be able to kind of get out of your build and get into the engagements a little faster, which is sweet.
Yeah. So onto the drum gun, they reduced fall-off range damage from 80% to 70% at 3,500 units, which is actually kind of a buff. So it's doing 10% more damage at max range than it was before. They did the same thing at 5,000 plus units, and they reduced the fall-off range damage there from 65% to 55%. So again, you're doing an extra 10% damage at those far ranges. They added environmental
it sounds weird.
Yeah, the environmental damage fall-off now matches player damage fall-off. So before, if you would shoot at a structure from however far away, it would do a different amount of damage than it would to a person. But now those are the same.
I was so confused when I read this.
Yeah, at range, it does the same amount of damage to a player that it would to a structure.
Wow.
So that's all that means.
I'm stupid. All right, yeah.
For the drum gun, it decreased jumping accuracy by 5%. It decreased jumping accuracy by 5% and decreased targeting accuracy by 10%.
I think it's a lot for like aim assist with the targeting accuracy. Either that or it makes the bloom like 10% poopier. I'm not really sure what the targeting initially means. I in my mind it automatically sounds like aim assist.
No, it's not aim assist. It's like when you're just so your crosshairs will be bigger now.
Oh. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
because if you have 100% targeting accuracy, that's your first shot accuracy with ARs.
Gotcha.
How it'll hit automatically. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
or it'll hit dead center. And it reduced the spawn rates from chests and floor loot by 40%, meaning you won't find as many drum guns.
This is one thing I do not like. I really I can deal with everything else with the drum gun, but I think the drum gun is still going to be a pretty powerful gun, and I think that reducing that is going to give the very few players in the match that do find it a pretty heavy advantage. I've never been a fan of reducing spawn rates on certain weapons, but just kind of like everything else, we're gonna have to see how it plays out, see how it feels. But I think that going up against the drum gun is gonna be pretty tough now, especially if you are one of the sorry souls that's not lucky enough to have good RNG and find one. It's gonna be pretty tough going up against the drum gun.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I think that reducing spawn rates kind of I really don't know how to
But
say it.
there's
I don't want to
still
say that it gives them like an unfair advantage. I know that they're still there, but like if you are just getting bad RNG that day and not getting a drum gun, and then
But it's the same. It's not like the drum gun is the only gun in the game. That's the same thing with scars.
I know, but I know, yeah, I don't know.
It's just because you're biased. You love them too
I'm
much.
biased. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that I've just kind of grown to the drum gun in the since 5.1 came out. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably just bitching, but whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean they are a really good gun. I think they needed this nerf. You would see in the pro tournaments, people wouldn't even pick up ARs. They would get a blue drum gun and surpass gold scars, gold FAMASs, basically everything else. They would run a drum gun, an SMG, or a shotgun, and that's all they would use.
Tear it up.
Two guns and 3 utility slots. So that's the end of the emergency patch notes.
Yeah.
I think that did a really good job of truly balancing the game even further.
Yeah, I haven't got to actually test out this today because I kind of got home from work and did this, packed vacation a little bit, and then did this. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably gonna hop on it after this and test it out and see what happens.
Yeah, I played 2 matches today. I was lucky enough to I got a drum gun, compact SMG, all the stuff that they changed. And I hadn't read the patch notes before playing, but it did feel different. It honestly did feel more balanced. I didn't feel like I was getting killed with drum guns as much. There weren't as many of them. The compact SMG, really having the clip reduced from 50 to 40 didn't seem like that big of a deal. You still have 40 bullets in an incredibly powerful gun that does a lot of damage. So I think they did some good stuff, and I think it will change. Maybe not how the game is played so much. I don't think you're really going to see people changing the meta too much. Maybe the drum gun, maybe people will use ARs, like all the streamers and the pros and everything. I think it might bring power back to the ARs because you can't do that damage from range. Actually, you can do better damage from range. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the end of the emergency patch notes.
Yeah,
I think those were good changes.
I think it was good too. Some of the new things that I'm really excited about is that they're adding some possibly new things to the map. Well, they're definitely adding at least this one new thing. So the building in Tilted that was destroyed by the meteor. I'm pretty sure that everyone just knows it now as New Building. It's just east of Trump Tower, the big gray massive tower in Tilted. They're actually adding some sort of addition onto it. We saw that there was a construction site set up there early season 4, or after the meteor hit season 4. There was construction, and they rebuilt this whole building. And when season 5 released, it's pretty cool place to go. A lot of pallets for farming, things like that. Well, it's a little bit bigger now, so we have pretty much a completely whole new addition onto that building. There's still a bunch of pallets out there, so don't worry for people that like to farm that. That's still there. I'm eager to see what it's going to turn out to be. It could be another massive skyscraper in Tilted, which would be cool.
I don't think it's going to get height-wise. I don't think it hasn't changed yet, so I don't think they're going to change it.
I like it how it is. I do like it how it is.
Yeah, I don't think we need another really tall building.
I agree.
But basically, the best way to describe it is just construction is progressing.
Yeah, and just keep looking forward, because when they did it initially with that new building, and they would release it just little by little, almost to where you couldn't tell it was changing unless you went directly there and looked and tried to inspect what they did and changed. So, keep your eye out on that building, because I jumped here shortly after the patch was released and didn't realize it until I went back and read the patch notes, and they were like, "Oh, the new building in Tilted is being changed a little bit." And then I went back again and I was like, "Oh shit, this is different." And so so you guys might have dropped there and not even noticed that stuff was different.
Same thing here. I was walking around it and I was like, why does it feel different?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
And so
and they changed it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also we had the big theory on the last podcast about Dusty Divot Tower or Dusty Divot factories being rebuilt with these trucks. Well, our aspirations and hopes seem to be somewhat crushed. They're moving away from the location the factories were at, and they're actually moving towards what used to be Dusty Depot. So a lot of people are speculating that they're actually just going to rebuild Dusty Depot. I'm not for that. I don't like that idea. Never a big Dusty guy until now. Now it's really fun to jump at. It's interesting and different, but I really hope they're not going to add another building onto Dusty, because that's just going to add more chaos, and I don't like it.
Personally. I love that idea.
Do you?
I think I really enjoyed landing at Dusty Depot even before it was destroyed. It was just, there was a lot of action right off the bat, and although there was nothing around it, it was pretty cool. But now that you have the divot there as well, there's not as much of a reason to land up at the depot because there's not enough loot there. But I don't think they would rebuild it completely to what it originally was. I think they would repair the buildings that are there and then add more to it. So it'll be a more central location that'll have more loot. And you can have people loot up in the depot and loot up in the divot and then just go head to head. So because obviously the people down in the divot, they have the materials on their side because all the trees are there now. There's more loot down there than up at the depot. And it's really just a strategic decision that you have to make now. If you want to fight the people down in the divot, if you land depot, if you even want to land depot. But I think if they rebuild it and add stuff to it, that'll be a really cool change.
I don't know. I like factories. I hope factories comes back. I hope that they're just kind of psyching us out like they did with the whole rocket launch, where they were going to break Tilted, then they got warped away, then they were going to break they were going to destroy Loot Lake, and then it warped away. I hope that these trucks are going to do like a U-turn, like the GPSs are like, make a U-turn, you missed where the factories used to be, and then we still get factories. That would be cool. But the way that it's looking is it doesn't seem that way, and it seems like we're going to get something, maybe not another building for Dusty Divot, but maybe something. That area is right around that massive bare spot in the map where it's kind of dreaded to run through, like between those two mountains, because you're always going to get you're so visible from some angle. I think it would be cool. There's that little wooden shack there that has the chest on the top floor. Use the tires to bounce up through the hole. That'd be cool to see that building demoed and some sort of factories kind of put in there, or a completely different small town. I think that would be a really, really cool idea. But we're just going to kind of have to see with the coming weeks where these trucks end up going. I really do like that they kind of add the trucks and then have them travel a certain path, like they did. Remember when they were getting all the hop rocks out? They were leaving from all the different locations. It was cool to see because it was really like progressive, and it was almost gives like that immersion kind of sense of this is more real than just a video game. I don't know, for some reason I'm a geeky nerd like that, so I like that. I like that little stupid stuff that they do to the game, just kind of to polish it.
Yeah. So we'll just have to see in the coming weeks. Moving on from that, there have been some keyboard and mouse changes for console users. We talked about this a lot last episode, how it's been changing the meta, having all these people with mouse and keyboard play on console, and because it just gives them an unfair advantage, honestly. My opinions haven't changed. I still don't really have a problem with it. But an Epic Games representative, he goes by the username JustMooney1. He posted on Reddit. This is a quote from the Reddit post. "Hi, we're actually working on some matchmaking tech on the Wow. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it was a little goofy. I'm not sure if he grammars too much,
Yeah.
but this is a straight copy and
Match.
paste.
Hi, we're actually working on some matchmaking tech on the way that'll pair you against folks based on your choice of peripherals. More info on this in the coming next week. In the long run, he mentioned if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, you'll be against mouse and keyboard. Yeah, he needs some grammar lessons, but
Just a
basically
smidge.
what he's saying is if you have a mouse and keyboard hooked up to your console, it'll detect that and then it'll throw you into games with other people using mouse and keyboard. I don't know if that'll just be other console mouse and keyboard players or if it will throw you up against people on PC as well.
What it
So,
seemed like was that it was only going to be against. So it'll be console keyboard and mouse against console keyboard and mouse.
okay.
At least that's how I interpreted it. I didn't in my mind he wasn't saying all keyboard and mouse against all keyboard and mouse. It seemed like he was addressing the problem of console keyboard and mouse specifically. But
Okay.
yeah, a bunch of people asked what he was doing, and he kind of on that same thread said more information will become available in the next week, which should hopefully clear up some commonly asked questions around this. So I will figure more about that out, and we'll deliver that to you guys in the next podcast, and we'll kind of update you on what's happening. Hopefully, by the next podcast, this update has kind of rolled out, and I think that it's going to be kind of interesting to see the summer skirmish and the solo showdown. Well, the solo showdown shouldn't be for a while, but the summer skirmish, how that's actually going to play out and have an effect in that, if it does at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're really just trying to balance the tournaments and everything, like the skirmish and the showdowns. I don't think that'll really affect normal gameplay too much.
I agree.
But I think they're just trying to weed out some unfair advantages that people had in tournaments.
There are some times I've used that a lot as a scapegoat. Like if someone destroys me, I'm just like, yeah, I've got shit on by a guy with a mouse and keyboard, no big deal. And then I just pretend like I didn't die to a guy with a controller because for some reason it just makes me feel better about myself and I don't have to cry myself to sleep at night.
Excuses.
That's all they are.
So the Android beta is out now. We're not going to spend too much time on this. Apple has had Fortnite out for a while, but now it's out on Android. Exciting. So play on your cell phone, I guess.
Yeah. If you guys,
go to school,
I've seen some go to school, pay attention. I've seen some crazy build battles, dude, on mobile. I've actually some intense build battles that these guys could probably beat me.
Some of these
crazy.
With the hand cams on the iPads, these people are incredible. They're really good.
So yeah, if you guys want to do that, go to Fortnite. Wow. Okay, if I can talk, Fortnite.com. Fortnite.com/Android. Connect your Epic account. And they'll email you with kind of directions on how to do it. Probably a beta code to get in. I haven't done it yet. I'm probably gonna just give it and do it and try it on mobile and see how bad I am. But it's not going to become something that I do regularly. I can't see a game this complex being played on a mobile device. No offense if you people play mobile. Good. I'm glad that you play it, and I'm glad that you like it. This is more people in the Fortnite community, but for me, that's just not my thing.
Yeah, just because you guys have fun playing it doesn't mean you do.
Exactly.
All right, so all of the patch 5.2, well, we can't say all of them because we don't know for sure, but patch 5.2 cosmetics have been leaked. There are...
So good.
Oh, God. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 in total that got leaked. The Acrobatic Assassin and the Mullet Marauder. Basically think 80s workout disco, big hair, mullet.
Who's the guy that does who's the guy that does all those workout videos? What's his name? I've got to Google it.
I don't know. Chuck Norris, man.
Chuck Norris, you dingus. What's his name, man? Yeah, I think.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'm gonna talk about the other ones. There is the Overtaker and Whiteout. Basically, it's the Drift skin and the Redline skin, but they're white, like all white.
Richard
they
Simmons.
Look really cool.
Sorry, Richard Simmons. Do you know who that is?
I can picture him.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what I expect when I'm looking at these skins. So immediately where my mind goes.
Those Aerobatic Assassin and the Mullet Marauder, yeah, they're definitely 80s workout skins. So the Beef Boss, which is the Durr Burger skin, that was leaked. So it looks like we're finally getting that. And there's one called Galaxy. I don't. A year or two ago, the Galaxy print on all the shoes and shirts and everything was really popular, like Space Cat T-shirts. And that's what this guy looks like. And he has like neurons flying around his head. He's all purple. He's got. It's really hard to describe. He just looks
white
like
hair, white mustache, white eyebrows.
Yeah.
He looks cool.
He does look really cool. That's the one I'm most excited about. That and the whiteout skins. Those are cool. Panda team leader, the same as the cuddled team leader skins, but it's just a panda bear. Sushi master, he just looks like, no, I guess your typical sushi chef, but more like ninja'd out. And they have the gliders released for all these guys too, and back bling.
The gliders are sweet. I like some of the new concepts for the gliders, the Cyclone and the White Squall. They look like motorcycles. They're motorcycle builds. You hold onto the handlebars, but the handlebars are attached kind of where the front tire would go. They're cool.
And the tires are like off to the side and like wings. Yeah, these are too hard to describe. Just look up Fortnite patch 5.2 leaked skins and everything, and it should pop right up. We found them on Instagram. Some of them are really cool, and they also leaked the emotes too. 80s aerobics, chug, cowbell, pump dance, and hot stuff. But it's not the actual animation. It's just the picture that you would use in like your animation wheel.
Yeah. So these aren't exactly what they're going to be called because the pump dance was already released. It just came out. It's called Pumpernickel. It's pretty cool. It's a little stupid, dumb one. I like it though. I don't think you were too big of a fan of it. I thought it was kind of cool and goofy. But so these aren't the exact names for them. But I think they were just kind of titled them a general title so they could find them when they go back into their coding.
Yeah.
So your favorite was the Galaxy guy, right?
I don't know. I can't decide yet. I like the Galaxy and the whiteout skins.
Yeah, the Overtaker. He's sweet. I really think that I'm probably gonna buy the Overtaker like as soon as he comes out.
I agree.
There hasn't been a skin that's really kind of all whited out. He looks cool. Looks really badass. And
So I've noticed a trend. Lately they've been bringing back really old skins. So like they had the Easter bunnies back 2 days ago, and then today they have the Red Knight back from season 2. It's just the female version of the Black Knight Battle Pass skin. And I really never thought I would see those skins be brought back. I think they've had a push from the community. They don't want the skin system to be as exclusive, which I think it. Obviously, you can't get the Battle Pass skins again, but the ones that they released for V-Buck purchase during those seasons, they're bringing them back, and like the holiday events and everything. I don't know. I never thought they would bring back the Easter Bunny skins. Maybe we'll see a Skull Trooper return.
That is the one skin that I would be upset if they brought it back. I don't have it, but that's such an exclusive skin, and so many people go so crazy about that skin.
But it's exactly the same as like the Easter Bunny and everything too.
Yeah, but like the Easter Bunny,
because they were just a holiday event.
Yeah, they kind of suck though. I'm not a big fan of the Easter Bunny ones, and I really don't. I think that the Skull Trooper is really cool, and I think that it really has a lot of this. I think, not gonna lie, Myth kind of made this skin as popular as it is. I know that it's one of those skins that was available one time, and if you bought it, you bought it. If you don't, you're never gonna get it again. And Myth wears this constantly, so all the Myth fans, they're out there. They want the Skull Trooper skin. They will do anything for the Skull Trooper skin. They'll pay. I've seen people on Facebook, Instagram selling accounts for like over for hundreds of dollars just because they have the Skull Trooper skin. I think that's absolutely outrageous, and I would never do that. I would probably. I'm not gonna say I would hit a child for spending that much money on these skins, but it's stupid.
I would totally hit a child. If my child stole my credit card,
would you punt him would you punt him like a football?
He'd get the belt, buddy. He'd get the belt.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we don't know, but it does follow the trend. Whether or not they'll actually bring the Skull Trooper back, I don't know. But I think you can expect to see a lot of the other like holiday event skins and older skins from previous Battle Pass seasons coming back. Because I mean, they've done it. They're doing it, and I don't see a reason why they wouldn't do it for the other skins as well. Whether or not they'll do a full cycle and bring them all back, because it's getting to the point where they're making a lot of skins.
Yeah.
And they might have too many resources dedicated into this, or they might just need time to think of new skin ideas to come up with.
That's true. They're busting out so many ideas. It's gonna get kind of lackluster after like another year when they run out of ideas. It's just like, those TV shows that are really sweet up until like season 6, and then they get super repetitive.
Exactly. And I personally think the quality of skins is going down. There aren't as many cool ones as there were before. So I think I like this because they've been putting out 8 new skins every like 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good change, seeing some of these old throwback skins and giving the community a better, like, more opportunities to purchase them. But I do agree with the whole Skull Trooper thing. I think that should stay exclusive, and there should be skins outside of the Battle Pass ones that are exclusive as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I really am waiting for a skin that gets as much hype as Raven did. Raven was such a cool skin. When that thing got released, it was like everyone was like, all right, I'm saving my V-Bucks, I'm saving my money, I'm going to buy Raven as soon as he comes out, which is what I did. I saved my V-Bucks and, bought Raven the minute that I could buy him. And
Yeah.
I mean, kind of lackluster, and I don't really use them anymore because there are a lot of other cool ones, but no skin since Raven has had the hype that he had.
No, I agree. I think the Durburger maybe.
The Durburger might, yeah.
Just because of the story behind it, not because it's really that cool, because it's relatively similar to the Tomato Man one. It's just a big head and, an outfit to match it.
Yeah, could you imagine the hype behind a Tomato Head skin now if it didn't get released? Then the Tomato Head disappears, and then he comes back reincarnated as a skin. That would be crazy. That would be hype and a lot of money.
But it still isn't. And it's just the hype, though. They're really not that cool of skins. They're not. Well, I mean, it's all personal opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not. I think it's easy to gauge how popular a skin is by how much people talk about it and whatnot. And I think the only reason the Durburger one is so popular right now is because they have been it's just been speculated that they would bring one in, and it's been so long, and they're finally doing it. I really don't think. I think people are going to buy it. I just don't think a lot of people are going to continuously use it.
Yeah, and just, like you said, all the hype around the Season 5 stuff with the Durburger disappearing, and then it actually be included in that short clip and showing up in California, and, they tagged it, and then they got teleported into the Fortnite map, and that's on a different part of the map. You're right, there's so much hype surrounding it with the whole Season 5 that this is the perfect time to drop it. Should be a lot of hype, gained up around it, and a lot of people are probably going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Season 4 challenges. Season 4. Oh my god, I can't talk. Week 4. This is week 5, actually. Wow, I am on top of it today, guys. Everyone, happy times. Week 5 challenges are out today. What those are search 7 chests in Junk Junction. I am so upset. I'm not happy about that. Use 3 rifts. Eliminate 3 opponents in a single match. Those are the free-to-play challenges. If you guys don't have the Battle Pass, those are the ones that are available to you. The Battle Pass challenges are as follows. Deal 300 damage to opponents with a clinger, stick bomb, or grenade. Hit a golf ball.
Is that in total, or is that in one match?
It's in total. It didn't say anything about being match specified. Hit a golf ball from tee to a green on 5 different holes in Lazy Links, if you guys haven't been there yet.
I did that today.
Did you?
Well, I didn't finish it, but I did some of those. Just so you know, it's where your ball lands at, and it's where your ball comes to rest at. If you hit it and it hits the green and it bounces off the green, it won't count. Your ball has to rest on the green.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Follow the treasure map in Snobby Shores. Where this is located is in Haunted Hills, the small building north of the chapel. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you're running out of the chapel, it's just to your right. It has a double chest spawn in there. It's always the spot where I drop if I go Haunted Hills. And then eliminate 3 opponents in Shifty Shafts. the hidden battle star. Once you complete all these challenges, you'll be able to find that there's a tower east of the new racetrack. There's a bunch of rifts surrounding it, so I believe that it is on top of the tower. I could be wrong. I haven't actually completed all the challenges and got it yet. I just know that that's where it is marked on the loading screen. So yeah, I mean, that's what we have for this one. This one was pretty long. There was a lot of stuff to cover in this.
Yeah, a lot of really big changes and a lot of ideas that are surfacing.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys so much for listening. I think I mentioned it last time that we are now available on a bunch of different platforms. We got approved on iTunes finally. We're on SoundCloud. If you search Fortnite newscast on any of those, you'll be able to find us. We should be some of the first ones to pop up.
Same with Stitcher.
Yeah, same with Stitcher Radio. That is the Android version of kind of the iTunes podcast store. So Stitcher Radio, YouTube, search Fortnite newscast. We are on Twitter at Cast Fortnite. If you guys haven't already, just go follow us there. Give us just come holler at us. We're always happy to say hi to everybody. And as always, guys, just remember to stay average gamers.